Hello everybody, welcome back to Bag Only, my infantry only Ultimate Iron Man here on Oldschool Runescape. I'm not using any kind of storage, no bags, no containers, no pouches, not using gravestones, not using POH storage or stashes or a looting bag. Just all the items we have will just be in our invent or equipped. So if you did tune into the last episode, you may remember we completed the Night at the Theatre raid. We also upgraded our house a little bit, got our skills up a little, and we did the entire of the Song of the Elves quest up to a few attempts at the final boss, and didn't manage to defeat her, so today we're going to focus on upgrading our gear a little. Got a few ideas for a few neat little places to get upgrades. Of course, as you can see, we're just wearing Mystics at the moment, and we're just using the offhand book from Kingdom Divided, which doesn't have the best mage stats. Now, I'm fairly sure that we could defeat the final boss if we just brute force it and keep trying in our current gear, but I would like to just get a couple of upgrades just to make it slightly easier on us, because each time we do have to go try it, it is a long walk back to the underground pass and inside. We also have to make 80k to pay for each death over there, so it's quite a lot of work every time we fail, so I'd rather not just brute force it, and it also gives us an excuse to go do some interesting and fun content in the video. So what I'm actually going to do is go try and do a little bit of Shades of Morton. One of the things you can unlock from Shades of Morton is the recipe scroll for BloodBark armor. Yeah, and so we have the natural level to make the boots and the gloves, but if we do unlock the recipe scroll, it unlocks the recipe for all the different pieces of BloodBark in one go, so having that on the account would be cool, so in a couple more runecraft levels going forward, we'll have the potential to make the full set. So I'm going to go do a little bit of Shades of Morton, see how it goes. I think it's a relatively painful minigame, especially since we won't be able to store any shades in those coffins, because that would be storage. But I'm just going to go see how it goes, see if we can actually open a few chests and see if we get anything cool on the collection log, or if we do in fact get any of these recipe scrolls. So I'm fairly sure everyone understands how Shades of Morton works at this point. We've even covered it on this account before because we did the mini-quest, and playing the actual mini-game after the mini-quest is pretty much the same deal. You have different tiers of shades that you can kill with increasing combat levels, and then the higher tier of shade that you defeat, you need a higher tier of log in order to burn their remains, get yourself some loot keys, and then go downstairs and open some chests. Now on this account currently we are missing, I think the 75 or 80 fire making it is to burn magic pyre logs here, so we can't do those or redwood ones, so we're going to have to cap out at like the second or third best shade and just use U logs. And I'd much rather just stay here and do more attempts than going back to like Wintertot to level our fire making a bit to do Shades of Morton a little more efficiently, because I really hate Wintertot. So for Shades of Morton, like I say, there are different tiers of shades, but in order to access those you need to kill the lower tier shades until you get one of their keys, and then with each of these keys you can open a subsequent door down in the catacombs to get deeper and deeper inside, and then find your way to even stronger shades so you can fight them, get their key, till we got to the 4th tier room with these blue Asin shades, which would be the highest level ones we could do with U logs. So the blue shades we were killing would either drop a silver key or a black key. Now a black key has like a 1 in 350 to 1 in 400 chance of one of the rune scrolls we're after, but if they did drop a silver key instead, then it's about a 1 in 150. So we did want to see as many silver keys as possible over black keys. One really annoying thing from doing these chests is there's a 1 in 2 chance, that's a 50-50 chance of receiving the Flamtea bag. Now that's the container that holds all the construction materials for the temple. Obviously we're not allowed to use that on this account, but since it's a 1 in 2 chance of receiving one, anytime that I would get one from a loot chest and then delete it, then the next chest would then have a 50-50 chance of just giving us another one. So in some of these clips I do have the Flamtea bag just in the invent because I just couldn't be bothered to delete it every time, but just understand that I wasn't using this. It was never full of planks and bricks to actually help us fix the temple. It's just because it's a lot of work to destroy this if we are going to be here for over 150 chests. As you've seen, we've also had a couple of Amulets of the Damned, which are cool. Those have the same combat stats as a Glory, but with an additional effect if you wear it alongside full Barrows sets. So I'm not going to hang on to an Amulet of the Damned because they are relatively easy to get. I feel like if you really put the effort in, you could probably come back and get one within a day relatively easily. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to try and get the rune scroll to do the recipe for the BloodBark, and along the way if we get any more of this fine cloth I will just turn this into split bark by going to chop some of the bark trees near Mauritania and going to the Wizard's Tower or using thread on it to craft into the BloodBark pieces and then just equip those, so we have those on our character, not wasting an invent space, because we can obviously always just go buy back the Seer's Helm or the Mystics from shops, so they're very easily reclaimable. So yeah, for now I'm just going to work towards getting this rune scroll. I feel like the extra healing will make the Seren fight a little bit easier. I think at the time of recording there's a new quest coming out in like 11 days. the Secrets of the North quest. This new quest supposedly is going to release with an upgrade to the Ancient Staff. All we need to do is go do the mini quest, the General's Shadow, which I didn't do because it has such rubbish rewards, but I may have to go do that because it is needed for Secrets of the North. But yeah, if we just wait for Secrets of the North to come out, then we'll get improved ancient magics that should help us defeat Seren. We will also need to complete that one, obviously, to get our quest cape. So I don't really know. I guess it depends how Shades of Morton goes. And now we don't technically have the runecraft level for full BloodBark, but it is only 81, so it'll be very easy to stew towards that because it's only a +3 we need to get. And then once we're done here and we have the recipe and all the pieces, we'll go grind some blood runes over on Karen because you do need some of those to make BloodBark. And then obviously there are some more upgrades we could technically do if we still can't beat the boss. I just really don't want to go for the major arena cape and risk everything. But it may be that we also have to go do some like ham member easy clues or something to try and pull another Zami page or a couple of ancient pages to get a better god book than just this Book of the Dead. Hey guys, so we've got ourselves 4 pieces of fine cloth. I've just been and grabbed 4 pieces of bark as well. I believe the body costs 4, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So like I say, what I'm doing is I'm just making these pieces as and when I get them, just so we can have the full set equipped so it's not taking up invent space that we otherwise need for olive oil, logs, and shade remains. We are making money by playing shades as well. As you can see, the cash stack has gone up, so not really too worried about cash. And obviously we need to go make blood runes anyway for another attempt, so if we ever need money we can just wait a little bit longer at the blood runes, make a few more and sell them to Ali. It's a decent money maker. So hopefully we pull the recipe scroll around the same time as we get enough bark and cloth to make the full set, and then we can just leave straight away. Like I say, I'm not entirely going for the Shades of Morton collection log right now. I don't think you can, first of all. As you can see here, we've pulled 6 cloth so far and used all of it. 1 piece on the gloves, 1 piece on the boots, and 4 on the body. And then we've had 25 of these stupid bags that I have to keep destroying. And then we've had 3 amulets of the damned, so they're not very uncommon. I've just been alking those for GP. But like I say, if we do need one in future to top off a full barrow set, for example, Carol's to get that double shot effect, then I'll just wait till we get the full barrow set first, and then we'll go back to Shades and just grab one of these because they're not too difficult. And then these other things like the Golden Lock and the Prayer training outfit, you can only, I believe, get those from the highest level Shades, which do require either magic or redwood logs to be burned, so at the very least 80 fire making. Anyway, straight back to it, see you later. Myth Battle Axe, and 1 more cloth. We'll take a cloth. Like I say, we only need 5. And here's our weekly 13,000 sips of cave prayer juice. Delicious. Hey friends, back in the ditch. Make your predictions now. I'm going to say a Flamtea bag and some coins. Got the lock again. That's, I think, our 3rd silver lock. Again, all they do is they make the shade-carrying coffin backpack thing that we can't use on this account, so it really does nothing for us. But luckily, Jagex actually gave these an alk value, which is nice. I think it's worth like 10k. Yeah, 11,500, so that's actually good. Plus we got 2 pieces of cloth from that run, so that's awesome. So after this lap we can leave and go make the legs, and then we'll just have 2 pieces left to get the split bark hat. And then we'll just be chasing the recipe scroll. Hey guys, our final stop here at the Wizard's Tower to get our last and most stylish piece of split bark. So there we go. We're now a full split bark Chad. Get a load of that helmet. Probably the coolest helmet in the whole game. But there it is. Full set of split bark obtained. So now we're just waiting for that recipe scroll. Also had a look, and you actually need 95 fire making to do the best shades here. So it is a very, very big jump to do the very best tier of shades. And the second to best tier of shades that do require 80 fire making, they do have a 1 in 6 chance of dropping the best keys anyway. So you can still get into the gold room and open some gold chests from the second best shades. It's just obviously a lower chance than if you kill the very best ones and burn them with redwood logs. Anyway, straight back to it, see you later. We have got ourselves a fire making level doing this. Don't know if it was an entire one, but we did start with 71, we're now 72, so at the very least as a consolation prize, we have that. And if we had gone and done that at Wintertot itself, it would have probably just took like an hour or less instead of like 6, but you know, whatever. Hey guys, just some temple repairing content, just to change it up, you know. You see some absolute units here, and I'm probably honestly one of the biggest ones with this melee setup, but you know, yeah. If you go to the official world for Shades of Norton, still people playing, ton of Iron Men, getting this lovely 20 crafting XP or whatever. It's really not very hard. One of the best things you can do, aside from having the Mauritania hard for the Berg legs, is have 81 combat so the shades leave you alone. Nice high combat level, nice fire in the swamp, because the ghasts do sometimes get across this river here, and they can rot your food even at the temple if you're unlucky. So I'd recommend giving this a go if you're bored. you want some new content to do, if you haven't tried this post rework, because it's actually not really very bad anymore. Used to be terrible, used to be no one playing it, but now there's like a collection log rush on in the community, and there's actually better rewards from here. It is actually worth coming, because there's always players online at any hour of the day. The only issue is if you're not in the US, you have to put it with US ping, but that's fine really, so yeah. Okay, back in the silver room. Can we hit the 1 in 140 something, whatever it was? One of these. Nope, hammer. And one of these, Amulet of the Damned. So decent stuff, reasonable alchables there. Let's see what we get. There's the black lock, that's a new thing that we don't actually need. But it is always nice because it is a collection log slot. Okay guys, I give up, I've got ourselves a D-sim. I didn't expect to be here this long, but we're still here. I'm just going to make this a little bit more efficient by actually having a proper weapon to kill shades with. Also, since we're now done with our full regular split bark, there's no need to keep fine cloth anymore. So I don't really need to designate an invent space for that. So if we assume that we're saving 1 silver key, then we can still do 5, 5, and 5 in terms of logs, oil, and remains. So it shouldn't be too bad to bring a weapon as a switch, so we'll do that. Hang on to our ancient staff instead in the invent. Hey guys, there's 82 strength coming in from all the staff bashing and now de-skimming, so that's always nice to see. Always good to get more melee stats. We will need them a little bit later down the line when we get into actually meleeing some proper bosses, but for now our melee stats are kind of completely unnecessary. It's not something we need for Seren specifically, and it's not something we need for Lumbridge Elite, which are the two things we're kind of going for here. Obviously there's the other recipe scroll as well that's also 1 in 150, so surely we should see one of them soon, right? Obviously there's both the Swamp Bark and the BloodBark recipe. They're both the same drop chance, 1 in 154. So you'd expect to see either one of those at like 1 in 77. But we haven't seen either yet. Right guys, there's our blood scroll, so that's our recipe unlocked on the account permanently, which is really, really nice to have. I just feel like it's really good to get permanent unlocks on an account like this. Like I say, just in case we do ever wipe or delete our gear, then we can just come back and remake it without having to come get these bloody notes again. We just need to come back and get the cloth and the bark, so that's really, really cool. So with that done, we now have the capability to make our BloodBark armor, but obviously we still need a stew boost, so I'll have to go raise a cat. And while raising a cat, we need something else to be working on, so I figure it's probably the best time to go tackle the general shadow mini quest, because the new quest that's coming out, the Secrets of the North, will require this as a prereq, so it seems like a good thing to go do. So the general shadow mini quest is basically just a mini quest where you have to go talk to General Khazard over near Relica, then report to his 3 or 4 spies around the game, and then just go back, talk to him again, and then defeat his Hellhound companion, and then we just get a tiny little bit of XP and a sword. This is a follow-up to the mini quest Curse of the Empty Lord, which you unlock after Desert Treasure 1, which is obviously a much harder quest because there's a chance you have to go into the Wildy to talk to some of the spies on that one. But for the general shadow, the spies are in the same place for all accounts, and none of them are in the wilderness, so it's far, far easier. All you literally need is your ghostly robes, a ring of visibility, and a ghost speak amulet, and then you just run around the game to some places that aren't in the wilderness, and then, like I say, just kill the dog, and then you do get all the rewards. The main difficulty in doing this mini quest is literally completing the Curse of the Empty Lord first, but obviously we've done that already, so we can just go buy our ghostly robes back from Purdue, instead of going to talk to all the individual NPCs in dangerous locations. So we would now have all the quests, mini-quests, and skill requirements for the new quest when it did come out, but what I needed next was some blood runes. We need blood runes for a whole bunch of stuff at the moment. We need 1,450 to turn all this split bark into a full set of blood bark once our boost is ready with our cat. We also need blood runes just to sell for GP, because it's our best moneymaker on the account, and we also need a ton of blood runes to actually attempt Seren. Obviously we need 80k cash as well per death to reclaim our items over there, so we're just going to sit at blood runes for a little while. At the very least we have 2.5 hours till this kitten's ready, so we might as well chill here the entire time. Got some Karambwanji to feed it to make sure it doesn't die, and then we'll see if we can nail this +3 boost, turn our full split bark into our blood bark. So I made runes, I grew the cat, we came back with orange spicy stews, and we attempted to get our boost. Now obviously we only needed +3 to get from 78 to 81 to make the full set, so it wouldn't be too difficult. We could get anything from a +3, a +4, or a +5, and they would all work. Sadly our first stew attempt was a -4, then we got like a -2, then a -1, so it wasn't really ideal, especially since I didn't have access to super restores or the super restore pool in the house yet, so I had to go back to Ferox Enclave and drink from the restoring pool there and run all the way back with fresh stews. Got a few more negative attempts, and then also to add insult to injury, I actually managed to somehow get the cat killed against the rat behemoths by not paying enough attention. Okay, I mean, I got one spice. Can have one go. So that was really, really fun. I had to just get a new kitten and just go fight the rats with a kitten, which honestly takes ages. It takes like 5 minutes per rat you kill, but I figured it was probably better to just brute force it that way than taking 3 hours to raise a new full-grown cat. Hey guys, so that's full BloodBark completed, so we should be set for another attempt at Seren, potentially. What I'm just going to do is go round, grab a couple of snapdragons. I'm going to pick a good, like, 14 of them. We're going to make ourselves 10 super restore 4s with some red spider eggs, and then with those I'm going to attempt to do another orange stew boost. With the saw we only need a +4, and then we can upgrade the pool space in our house to the super restore pool. It's not the most useful thing in the world, but if we do any more spicy stewing, which I think we will do for our smithing, potentially for Lumbridge Elite, then it means that to restore any negative stats from failed stews, we won't need to go all the way to Ferox. We can just use the pool in our house. While we already have stews in the invent, and while we already have Karambwanji and all this stuff, we're all set up for stewing. I'm just going to go for more orange stews till we hit a +4 and just upgrade the pool. So with our full set of Swamp Bark, our recipe scroll to make BloodBark, a stew boost to make the entire set of BloodBark, and another stew boost to make our super restore pool in our house to aid with PVM, we're now ready to look at other aspects of our account that we're going to need for PVM and for the Seren boss fight. One thing I've always wanted to get up, probably not going to help us too much with Seren specifically, but definitely with more bossing afterwards, is both our fishing and our cooking level. Now, if we can get our cooking up to 80 from 72, then we'll have the level to naturally fish and cook our own sharks. And the cooking level's arguably more important because with Karen Favour, there's actually a shop that sells the raw sharks. So what I decided to do was head over to that Karen shop and take a look. They have a bunch of things from like lobsters through to sharks. So what I was able to do, instead of doing the Lumbridge wine method to train cooking, was actually use this shop, just buy a whole bunch of bass, run down the dock to the nearest house that had an oven, cook all the bass on the oven, and then drop them on the way back to the shop. And the guy stocks enough to do about 2 trips of this before you have to world hop, so it's relatively chill. Hey everyone, 76 cooking coming in. Slowly running out of money, but we've got a bunch of blood runes we can sell if we need to get some more. It's costing about half a GP per XP, I think, doing this. Obviously not as good as wines, but for an account like ours without a bank, you actually have to wait 15 seconds each time you make an invent of wine for it to ferment, whereas if you were playing any kind of account with a bank, you can just bank the unfinished wines and immediately hop worlds and continue buying more wines. Hey guys, there it is. I don't know how long this took, probably like 10 plus hours over like about a day and a bit, 2 days. There's 80 cooking finally on the account. I think we started here with like 72 or something. Anywhere from like 60 to 90k an hour, probably averaging like 79k an hour in terms of XP, and around about half a GP per XP. So we got about a mil XP here, and we spent probably about 500-600k on getting that. But as you can see, we can now cook sharks, which is incredible for the account. It would be far more useful if we had 82 fishing, so we could go fish some minnows and then get noted sharks from those, and then we could just unnote those and cook them. But what I will, I think, try and do is either continue cooking bass here to attempt to get up to like 84 cooking, which is a big ask because it's another mill. It's like the same again as what we've just done from like 72. But if we get to 84, then we can cook anglerfish. And then if we can cook anglerfish here, that would be massive for the account because they're like pretty much the best food in the game, right? But we would just need 4 more fishing levels to be able to fish those. But as you can see, we're very, very close to 79 fishing anyway, so it's really about 3 fishing levels. But yeah, basically the goal, we've got a whole bunch of fish coming up that are really, really good. I'm sure you guys know, but there's a minnow platform up here in the fishing guild where if you have full angler on, you can go inside and you can fish this kind of spot with a net that keeps moving, then you can trade those minnows in for noted raw sharks. Now we can cook sharks, that's going to be insane for us, but you do need 82 fishing instead of 76 for normal sharks, so we want to work towards that. And that's also the level for anglerfish, like I say, which we will also need 84 cooking for to actually cook. But if we can get towards 82 fishing for both those things, anglers and minnows, that will be massive. Now, in terms of the minnows, I actually worked this out. You only need the angler outfit the very first time you unlock this platform when you speak to Kylie the first time. And then any subsequent time you go to the minnow platform, you actually don't need the angler on at all. You don't even need to own it. I tested this on a main. So what we'll do actually at some stage on this account, probably after 82 fishing, is we'll just go do fishing trawler for like a day or two, get the full angler set, then we'll just come here, we'll show the angler set to Kylie, we'll unlock the minnow platform, and then we can destroy the angler set. So midway through our fishing here, we got ourselves an easy clue casket, went and did it, and we actually pulled some flared trousers, which would normally be insane if you were an Iron Man, because you need these for, I think, a master clue but since we're not allowed to make stash units on this account, it's very worthless to us unless we keep these in our invent. So I tried out manually fishing and cooking sharks in the fishing guild with the harpoon. Now obviously you fish sharks with the harpoon so slowly that both the fishing and cooking XP an hour is atrocious, even though it's completely free. So what I actually decided to do was go test out Temperos. I did say before that maybe Temperos would turn out to be a reasonable cooking method because so many of the rewards are noted raw fish. So I actually just went there to do a couple of these fishing levels just to see if at the end we'd get very much raw fish that we could use also for our cooking levels. Temperos is very chill, like all of the new minigames in RuneScape, very, very easy. You need no supplies to play it, it refills your run energy as you play, and you get very, very competitive fishing XP as well as a bunch of unique rewards. Hey everybody, as you can see in the event we have an easy, a medium and a hard clue, all from Karamblands, currently at 2.3 mil fishing XP, 120k left till 82, then we can do minnows and anglers. Let's do a little clue scroll opening though for now, just as something to do. Hopefully we get some god pages. Obviously I'm not going to go to Entrana for these because we don't want to be on Entrana for hards and mediums because they actually can give good gear pieces. So ranger boots, no luck today, and anything else? An ancient page, okay, that's pretty good. As far as I remember, the ancient page was like our least completed one, right? Oh, awesome. So now we have 2 ancient pages out of 4 and 3 Zami pages out of 4. If we can complete either of these 2 books, it will help us with our mage stats, because our current book has 3 prayer and 6 magic. The Zami book has 5 prayer, 8 magic, and the ancient book has 5 prayer, 10 magic. So it'll be a lot better than Book of the Dead. So I'll go run over to the lighthouse, pop this page in the book, and come back and do some more fishing. Hey, there we go guys, 82 fishing. That's minnows and anglerfish completed. I'll just round this game out, and then we'll see what we're doing next. Right guys, time for some fishing trawler now for anglers, so we can go unlock minnows. I'm just going to grab the supplies here, and then we'll go play. And so it was off to everyone's most fun place in RuneScape, the Fishing Trawler minigame. Now, I've not actually tried Fishing Trawler since they updated it with the Kraken event and stuff, but it's way easier than it was before. No longer do you have to intentionally let the ship get half full of water and then stop repairing it to stop the bar going down, or whatever it used to be. You now only need to use 10 swamp paste, basically, and you get a guaranteed KC. As long as you get a KC, then you get a chance at the outfit piece. If you want to contribute more, then you get more raw fish at the end out of the net, but we don't care about that at all. We're just here for the outfit. So you can basically just come in, use 10 swamp paste these days, and then you AFK for over 3 minutes until the game ends, and you get a chance at your outfit piece. Obviously there's 4 outfit pieces, and they're now 1 in 12 each, so in theory we may have to be here around 48 games of this, and they're about 5 minutes each, so we could be here a long time, so wish me luck. So I stayed up pretty much all night playing Fishing Trawler, which is always super, super fun. Got the first piece on game 2, which is cool. After 14 games, we got the legs. After 27 games, that's almost 4 hours, we got ourselves the boots. Yeah, didn't end up getting another piece for like another 15 games after that one, so I gave up and went to bed. It was now 4 AM. And then, of course, the very first game I played when I got up the next day, we got the final piece of the outfit, which was the Angler Top, completing the set in 43 KC, so I guess 5 kills under the expected 48. So can't really complain. But regardless, that's full angler set complete, which is really nice. Obviously, if you wear this while fishing, it's a 2.5% XP boost to your fishing skill. But what we can do with this angler set now is make sure that we've completed everything we need to complete with it. So I just did a double check and made sure there were no diaries that required us to have full anglers, because I really didn't want to have to come back and get this a second time if I forgot something in future. One of the things we need to do is actually do the Dress Like You Mean It combat task to kill Temperos while wearing full anglers. Just ended up in a game with 2 other people, so it was kind of chill. What I also did was I started off on this other boat, I fired some fish from that ship, and then I swapped over to this one, because there's also a combat achievement to attack Temperos and beat him while attacking him from both sides of the map. So I guess we should have also got that one, maybe? Well, we got Dress Like You Mean It, which was the combat achievement we came here for. So what we should be able to do with full angler equipped is talk to Kylie here. After a little bit of Australian dialogue, we should be allowed access to the fishing platform. Now, as you can see, if we do remove our angler and drop it, then we are still allowed onto the platform, and we should still be allowed to fish the minnows themselves along with all these bots. So as you can see, we can fish minnows, which is really good. But yeah, that's the full angler outfit obtained on the account, and I think everything that we need to do with it as well. We've done the combat achievement that requires it. There's no diaries that require the angler outfit. And we've also unlocked ourselves minnows, and as you saw, if you don't own the angler outfit, if it's destroyed or dropped, you are still allowed on here to fish the minnows. This is why we just did a whole bunch of fishing and cooking training for the last week or so. They are affected by the doubling effect of the Rada's Blessing, so I will go get that back. I just had it unequipped because I was fishing Karambuns, and you actually don't want double Karambuns because you don't get double XP. So if we trade that with Kyle... Oh, it's a shark for 40! No way, that's so OP. So there we go, as you can see, if we just fish some minnows, they'll stack up to an infinite number, and then you can just turn them in with this NPC for noted raw sharks, which is insane. At any point on the account, we can just teleport here from our house, we can get a bunch of noted sharks in the form of minnows, and we can cook our own sharks. So we're pretty set up for entry-level PVM. I feel like sharks are a decent starter food to get into PVM stuff. What we can also do with 82 fishing is fish anglerfish, which I said before, which are even better than sharks. They just take a long time to fish, and they cost a bit more money in bait, but they also need 84 cooking to cook an anglerfish, which we're still a long way away from. Maybe I should go claim all our fish from Temperos now and see how far it gets us in terms of cooking XP. But I think for now we'll get rid of anglers. As quickly as we got it, we'll be dropping it. It took like 4 hours to earn, and in about 5 minutes I've run around and done everything we need to do with it. So even though we're not keeping any of this stuff that we're unlocking, we do, as you can see, have it on the collection log, so we can look at that in future, which is cool. Hey everyone, just AFKing some blood runes for money here. Just got ourselves 80 rune crafting, which is kinda wild. Bit of a high level. I can't remember what we left off on when we stopped doing Guardians of the Rift, if we've gained 1 or 2 levels doing blood runes now. As you can see, we've got a nice healthy stack. This is worth just under 1.5 mil if we sell all these to Ali. Obviously we'll be using these as ammunition for Seren, or maybe for these last 4 cooking levels that I need for anglerfish. Maybe we'll use this GP to buy grapes, or maybe we'll use it to buy raw bass or sharks or something in Piscarillius to get those 4 levels. But yeah, 80 runecraft, really nice to have. Right gamers, that is 10,500 blood runes. That's over 2 mil in cash if we sell those to Ali Morrisane. Absolutely love doing blood runes on this account. So what we'll do is we'll just go claim our stuff from Temperos, we'll cook it all up and we'll see how much XP we get. Right, here we go. So obviously there are uniques available here. The Spirit Flakes are an item that when you hold them, you have a chance of getting double fish, and then they get consumed. And there's all sorts of noted fish. There's the Tome of Water, which makes water spells slightly better, but it's useless. There's the Tackle Box that we can't use, so it's useless. There's the Fish Barrel that UIMs can't use full stop, which is useless. There's the Pet, which is kind of cool, but it's useless. I don't think there's anything good from Temperos whatsoever. Let's just have a quick look. There's a big harpoon fish we can put in our house as decoration, so it doesn't functionally do anything. We can add these Spirit Flakes to our angler set that we've already destroyed to make the Spirit Angler set. Doesn't do anything for us. And if we pull the Dragon Harpoon, that's cool. And I don't think we'd want to waste the space for a food on a Dragon Harpoon, since we still haven't defeated Seren yet. So really, maybe it makes more sense to claim all these after we've done Seren. But I just want to claim them all now, because there's all this nice food that we can just cook up. There we go, we pulled ourselves some soaked pages, which are just charges for the Tome of Water. So if we don't pull that, they don't do anything. Hey, there's the Fish Barrel. Like I say, that's an item that you can open, and then when you're fishing, your fish will automatically go into there until it fills up with 28 fish, and then they'll start filling your inventory. And you can only right-click empty this at the bank. Of course, we're not allowed to use storage items at all on this account, but like I say, I don't think regular ultimates can even use this barrel. Unless they've made a special exception for Ultimate Iron Man, I don't know. Not usable for us, for sure. So let's destroy the barrel straight away. Goodbye, barrel. Alright guys, let's see what we get from these caskets. I'm kind of hoping we don't get any clue scrolls, because I don't really want to do clues right now. But if we do, then we'll probably have to have a go at doing them. For some reason we only received loop halves. I guess it's RNG. But there we go, quite a lot of alks there. If we take a look at the cooking thing here and you scroll all the way down, manta rays need 91 cooking, so they're super far away. Sea turtles are at least 82, so they're kind of close to our level, but manta rays are more than double our current fishing XP, so we'll just be selling them, I imagine. Right guys, cooking time. Here's what we're going to be doing with all these noted fish. With that cooking gauntlets equipped, and here at the Hosidius range, which is the best cooking success chance in the game, we're going to just be unnoting our fish on this bank. waiting for them all to cook, and then dropping them all straight to the floor. I'm going to attempt to cook everything that we can here. Like I say, we do need 82 to do the turtles, and I certainly don't think we're going to get like 350k XP or whatever we're going to need to hit 82 from just these other few hundred fish. If we don't end up getting the level for the sea turtles, like I say, I might hang on to them, just in case we go back to like Piscarillia, spend some of our blood rune money, just do the old buying bass from the shop and cooking it there routine, just to get 82, and then we can cook these 180 turtles. Right gamers, that's all our cookable food used up. Still got the turtles, like I say, and we're 81 cooking. So I'm just going to go ahead and do some minnows now, just try some out for a little bit properly. I've been and reclaimed the Rada's Blessing, because I think it's like a 6% chance to double fish at level 3. And as you should also be able to see, our Spirit Flakes should also be going down here, because they do in fact work. I just want to use these up as opposed to dropping them, because dropping them does seem like a waste when we do need cooking XP anyway, and they do give us a 50% chance to give us double fish. So we're just going to go through this entire stack in theory, and then once we've done with all these Spirit Flakes, we'll just see how many sharks we end up with all these minnows. We'll trade in, and then we'll use those noted sharks and our cooking gauntlets to get as much cooking XP as possible, try and eke towards 84. Only 2 more days as of recording till the brand new quest, so we'll probably go try that. See if we can complete that and see if the boss that we unlock after the brand new quest becomes doable on this account with our current gear, and if so, maybe we'll farm that guy a little bit. Now we have access to some proper food on the account, see if we can get any of the new drops, because you can access some new magic boosting potions, as well as, like I say, an upgrade to this staff, which may help us in killing Seren and getting our quest cape. But I feel like the account's coming along really, really well. We've done a whole bunch of skilling recently. Our lowest stat on the account is actually 71 prayer, which is really good, and then everything else is anywhere from like 70 to 80 plus. Obviously we have our first 99 in our ranged, but yeah, super happy to have farmed out the angler set and the 82 fishing to have access to these minnows, as well as farming out the 80 cooking at the Port Piscarillius fish shop, cooking that bass. Right guys, here we are, probably just shy of 2 hours doing fishing. I've been averaging 31k an hour at minnows, which is quite surprisingly high. You obviously don't get boosted XP from the doubled fish from either the blessing or the flakes, so it should always be around 31k an hour. Been trying to pay kind of good attention to it, so that's a pretty reasonable fishing XP, honestly. So what we've come out with is 36,000 minnows. We obviously had 2,300 spirit flakes, so we've used all those up and got a whole bunch of extra minnows, and it is 907 raw noted sharks. Hey guys, there we go. 82 cooking coming in from our sharks. We've still got 21 left, so we just made it. We can obviously now cook sea turtles, which means we can make use of this stack of turtles from Temperos, so they won't go to waste. And that is 84 cooking, the level to cook ourselves anglers. Obviously we already got 82 fishing earlier in the week, so we can also fish our own anglers from scratch. So anglerfish are a really good food. Obviously sharks heal 20, but anglerfish can heal up to 22 when your character has 99 hit points. What you need to do is grab yourself a fishing rod, and you need to grab some of these sandworms, which you can either get yourself with a bucket over here, or you can just buy them from the shop. Now they are a little bit pricey. As you can see, a sandworm, nearly 100 coins for one, and they're super slow to fish, anglers. And obviously since we've only just got the level to cook them as well, our burn chance is probably also relatively high. So to get a full inventory of anglerfish, it would probably take quite a lot of time. So I guess in future, if we do have access to the Book of the Dead with charges, all we need to do is just use the Fisher's Flute Telly. And it just puts us here, just south of the beach where we buy the supplies to fish and cook these, and there are obviously cooking ranges all over the place in Piscarillius. So when we put a pin in Song of the Elves earlier because we couldn't quite defeat it, we still had 72 cooking, so we've got ourselves 12 cooking levels since then, as well as a bunch of fishing levels. So now we have access to way better food, and that is also an elite task in the Korend and Kebos diary. One of the easiest tasks in the Korend elite, because it's a really tough diary, and that's just to both fish and cook your own anglerfish from scratch. We've also done the other task to craft your own blood runes from scratch. Like I say, for general use, we'll probably still be buying cheese potatoes or buying karambwans, just because they are so quick and convenient to get to from our POH. But now we do technically have the capability to fish and cook much better food. It may be that some stage we go back and get 99 cooking, maybe 99 fishing as well. For right now, I don't really feel the need to level either of these two any higher. So with fishing and cooking finally out the way, we went to Tears of Guthix because another week had passed, got ourselves 11.5k in our prayer because it's still our lowest skill. Then I just went to crabs and smashed out the tiny remainder of 82 Mage, just because we were super close to that level and it wouldn't give us a hit points level, so we'd have slightly more accuracy next time we go fight Seren, which is super good. Following this, I actually still was very, very busy, so I just spent pretty much another week just AFKing Blood Runes here. Actually got our runecraft all the way up to 83, which is kind of mad because we finished Guardians of the Rift on 78, so we've now gained 5 runecraft levels just from doing these Blood Runes, which is mad. Also got ourselves above 82 crafting, which is really, really cool. And then, yeah, like I say, it was about a week of rune crafting, so here's another Tears of Guthix Prayer XP clip, because that's literally the next thing that happened. So we've got ourselves some armor, we've got ourselves a weapon, we've got ourselves the capability to make good food, and we've got ourselves blood runes to cast. So the next thing we need is to finally upgrade this silly offhand book with one of the clue scroll god books. So I'm going to do the traditional Iron Man method of getting easy clues from ham members and then opening them over on Entrana. Now obviously it's super scary to open things on Entrana because we need to drop all our gear outside Entrana on the floor. So we need to really, really quickly head to the island, spam click open all our clues, and then run back before our things appear to other players or despawn. So we're starting off ham members with 78 thieving and the Ardy Hard Diary complete, so we should succeed on these guys most of the time. I think you need something like maybe 92 to never fail ham members with the Ardy Diary done. So easy clues from these guys without the easy combat achievements done are 1 in 50. I think it goes down to 1 in 45 with the combat diaries. So with our first hour of easy clues, I managed to get and complete 12 caskets total, which is not a crazy high amount, but it is decent for our account, obviously considering the fact that we don't have stash units on this account. So if we get any equipment steps, it's usually a drop, unless it's an easy one that we can very, very quickly go buy the equipment from a shop. But I didn't really want to fill our invent with every possible combination of equipment clue steps, just because then it would make actually thieving the clues a little bit slower because we'd have to drop junk a lot more frequently. So yeah, I just kind of winged it and kept things as and when I needed them. And wouldn't you believe it, I managed to get ourselves the Rocky Thieving pet at level 78 thieving on this account. Just another pet on this account that I wasn't expecting, and I also don't have this on my main that has like 20 million thieving XP, so that's really, really sad to see. I mean, you know, you can't complain about a pet. It's probably one of the coolest pets in the game, obviously. I'm going to love having this guy just in our POH pet house, seeing him waddling around every time we tele home and walk past. That's really nice. But it is just so sad that I actually don't have this on my max main. But anyway, yeah, another pet on the account. Bet you didn't see that one coming. Neither did I, just here for easy clues. Imagine getting a pet from a level 15 thieving enemy. Hey you guys, here we are just preparing for a birdhouse run. Finally managed to get those diamonds and complete that hard clue. Ended up being like 6 steps, so kind of painful. I'm kind of hoping we don't get something good, because obviously we don't have space to replace any of this gear, really. Oh no, dude, that's so good, but I can't use them. I literally can't spare an invent space to keep these, I don't think, right? That's so good. But like, I just feel like I need every space for a piece of food to kill Seren. I was just saying I really hope I don't get anything good. We'll have to think about that one. Anyway, just have to do a birdhouse run, so then we've got ourselves 30 caskets saved up, which we'll probably go to Entrana to crack open. I'm a little bit scared of opening those, because obviously last time we took so long that some of our items started to appear and someone started picking them up. The worst thing we could possibly lose, in my opinion, would be the Ancient Staff, just because, you know, we'd have to go kill 500 odd more mummies, which is a hellish process. Even if we lost some of our BloodBark, now we've unlocked the recipe scroll, it's not that hard to get back. We just have to go play Shades of Mort until we get enough bark. But yeah, Bandos D-hide boots, man. We've had such good hard luck, but I've already had to get rid of the Armadillo body for this boss fight. I don't think I can keep these. Right guys, gonna crack these 30 clues, hoping for the Zami page 3. Just turning my drop item warning off so we can be as quick as possible. I've cleaned up some junk already, and apparently all the things we have equipped we can go on with. It's just this junk, including the new boots, that we need to drop. So I'm going to be as quick as we can. Let's really quickly once again check the collection log. I'm sure you guys have seen this, I've showed it a bunch of times, but we're just missing Zami 3. We either want that one, or we want Ancient 1 and 2. Unlikely we'll receive those in 30 caskets, but gosh darn it, we're going to try. So I'm going to be as quick as possible. If I DC somehow, I'll be deeply sad here, but I'm literally just going to spam click these 30 clues in like 5 seconds. We're not going to go for the nice like dopamine pop-ups for collection logs. We're just spam clicking, and then if we get any pages, we'll just pick them up off the floor and then run. So, Ioworth, Telly, some kind of pages. And then some other garbage. Let's go back and have a look real quick, see what we got. Okay, that is always just deeply stressful, so sorry for skipping through the clues there, it just kind of has to be done. So what did we get? Let's see, a bunch of teleport scrolls here, let's have a look. We've got some mostly harmless, some pest control, some Ironworth camp, and some Feldip Hills. None of those are any use to us. We got ourselves a Saradomin 2, a Bandos 4, and a Guthix 2. This Bandos page is a dupe, so it must already be in the book, but we did get 2 unique pages in 30 there. We got Sara 2 and Guthix 2. Sadly, they're just completely useless books. You know, I'm kind of happy with that. We also got ourselves an honourable blessing, so we're now at 3 of the 6 blessings for the log, and we're looking quite healthy in terms of this other miscellaneous garbage. A lot of sweets, a lot of firelighters. We're just missing 3 of the different teleports now and the scroll book. But obviously we're primarily doing this for the pages. So that was about 3 hours of ham members doing easy clues. No real luck in terms of the pages we were looking for, but we did get ourselves a brand new pet, which is just disgusting. Was not expecting to see this from the 22 thieving XP drops or whatever you get from ham members. We've done a total of 105k thieving XP today. I'm 11 times my current XP here on my maxed main, and I don't have Rocky, so that's really frustrating. But there you go, can't say no to a pet on the account. I'll probably put this guy in our house now. Like I say, we're not using any POH storage on this account, but I am making an exception just for the pet house, for strictly cosmetic pets, no functional pets like the pet rock or the cat. Just any of these skill pets or boss pets. So now we have the Abyssal Protector from Guardians of the Rift and Rocky from Thieving. So looking good. Okay guys, we're back on the dock. Only 5 easy clues this time. Piscatorius Teleport, I guess. That's 113 easies complete in total, which is kind of nice. Here's a few more caskets, as you can see. Got ourselves another Zammy page, but sadly that one's a dupe. Always sad to see that one. Got ourselves a new Guthix page here, but the Guthix book is completely useless, so doesn't even provide any god protection. And then here's a whole bunch more duplicates, more armor and Guthix pages. 5 more caskets here. Bearing in mind we're getting about 12 caskets an hour, so I'm doing about half an hour of clues in each of these clips and then coming to open them. Here's a big stack of 30, I'm just going to spam click all of these at once. You can see I've got a whole library of pages in my invent and on the floor here that I just want to juggle real quick, including the Zammy page 3 that we do in fact need. And as you can see, we also picked up an ancient page and an additional duplicate Zammy page, as well as a Sara and 2 armadills or something. So really, really good batch of 30 caskets there. Once again, if you open caskets on Entrana, any armor or weapon rolls that you get are re-rolled into something that isn't armor or weapon, so you have a much higher chance of getting these godbook pages. So I just ran back here, just dropped all the junk, like food, runes, teleport scrolls and whatever else, just to really quickly grab our armor back before it appeared or despawned. And there it is, we've completed one of the godbooks. Now obviously the ancient book that we still need 1 more page for is slightly better for mage than the Zammy book, but the Zammy book is good enough. It only has 2 less mage bonus but the same prayer, but also provides a nice healthy boost to melee and ranged as well, so it's the best overall book. So I just headed over to the lighthouse here and just put every page that we'd received into all of the different books, and then once a book is full and complete, as you can see here with the Unholy book, it gains combat stats, and it also gets added to Purdue's Reclaim store in Lumbridge and all the other towns where he exists, so we can pay like 14k to him to buy one back instead of coming back to the lighthouse each time we need it, which is why it's super good to get one of these unlocked. Hey gamers, here we are in Berthop, looking like some kind of weird pure or something. We're going to go do the Secrets of the North quest, finally. I've been preparing all day today, spent about 4 hours on the game just getting stuff together. Got ourselves some range pots, we got sapphire bolts, we got diamond bolts, we got some black d'hide, we got ourselves bandos boots that we got from our clue, got Ava's back, got rune crossbow back, got our newly completed Unholy book for our 8 ranged attack bonus, and we got ourselves just some broad bolts just to waste. I'm just going to grab a lockpick here, because we do in fact need one of these for the quest, as well as a tinderbox, but we can pick that up during the quest, apparently. So first things first, we head over to the Carnelian house near the battlefield of Khazard's Spirit Tree over here. Now this quest, sadly, is not currently on the quest helper, as you can see, so I'm going to have to do it manually by playing and reading the wiki. I know, crazy. But basically this quest adds a brand new boss over in Weiss, which is the troll place where we did the salt mining a few weeks ago, and we can go there and fight it after the quest as well for some neat upgrades. Now I don't yet know if we'll go fight the Muspa boss after the quest, but we'll certainly try if we can. It has some really nice drops, including a 1 in 50 untradeable upgrade to our ancient staff, which will certainly help us defeat Seren, but it may be that the boss is simply too difficult for us at this stage of our account. So as you can see here, Cyril Carnelian from the Haziel cult quest has been murdered. So we need to basically inspect, see what happened, and then we eventually come to the conclusion that it was the Majorat people, the Hazeal people, who were involved. So we follow a trail, we find an assassin, the assassin tells us they were paid by the Majorats, and then we eventually head to the north, and then we actually help them get through a brand new Gorok dungeon they've added under Weiss. And then we can do a bunch of other stuff over there. This guy shows us a amulet, which leads us to head down to the fight arena. If you remember the fight arena quest way back, it was the first time we died and lost all our stuff on this account. I died inside the fight arena at the very end of the quest, and once you've completed the quest, you're no longer allowed inside. Well, we're going to head back down there because General Khazard is the guy who was in charge of the fight arena. Initially, he's one of the Majorat people, which are basically this race of kind of tall, ancient dudes that follow the Zaros faith, the ancient magic religion. So we're going to go down there and see if we can find any clues as to this murder. So just like any other quest where we have to seek someone out, kind of like the Arceus quest in Zaya, we're going to run around and follow this trail here. Because of this segment, the quest does in fact award us a little bit of Hunter XP at the end, and by a little bit I mean it's a new quest, so it gives us a ton. We'll get 40k Hunter for this quest, which should give us a level, I believe. We also get 60k Agility for this, which is insane, because you don't actually do any Agility during the quest. It seems like they just wanted to give players more free Agility XP, so we'll take that. And then we also get 50k in our Thieving as well. Now, obviously, like I say, you also get access to a new dungeon with a new repeatable boss inside, with some brand new drops. So here's the Assassin Everlot at the end of this trail, and we get attacked by an iron battle axe, it looks like. Probably should have unnoted one of these ranging pots for this, but this person only has 160 health. Just broad bolts and a rune crossbow, and really gear that's not that impressive at all. We can hit 31s. So the assassin tells us that she's literally just a killer for hire. She's got no interest in the politics of any of this quest. She just did it for the money. So what we need to do is head back to the Hazeal cult's hideout. What I'm going to do is just really quickly nip home, use our brand new stamina/prayer pool. With one click we'll get our run energy back, and of course our prayer to full, and we've got our Ardy cloak to get straight back. And there'll be some people in here that we can speak to. Just a different NPC here, depending on who you sided with initially for the Hazeal cult quest. Brand new Hazeal model here, looks really good, looks very old school. Not too detailed, not too undetailed, really nice. So these two are Majorat, as you can see, they're like 10 foot tall, and these are kind of a powerful race that we're going to help out, because why? I don't really know, but we're going to. Now what's really good is since we have the spirit tree in our house, and there is in fact a spirit tree at the mansion, we can just simply go home, go to option 3, and it's a lot quicker than going to the Ardy Monastery Telly and running all the way around the clock tower. We can just get straight back here, which is super nice. So the chef says he didn't see anything to do with the murder, but he had a sudden cold feeling around the time when the murder happened, so we'll have a search of the kitchen, see if we can find anything. There's actually a hidden button inside this shelf here, which actually opens this wall over here. We can enter a secret passage. Once inside this secret passage, we can picklock this chest, which is the reason that the game gives us thieving XP for this quest, and it's basically just a very easy puzzle, where all you have to do is move these tumblers, even easier than the Oblivion lockpicking. If you see on the right here, if it's green, it's in the right place, and if it's not green, it's not in the right place. So you literally just move the ones that aren't green one at a time until you get it. Very simple. Read this clue scroll. So it turns out someone sent an assassin into the Carnelian house because they wanted to steal a crest that these Majorat guys want, and now with knowledge that the crest exists, these guys are going to head to the north and do a little bit of investigating, and we're going to go there and meet them and help them as well. And so what we need to do is head to our house, go through our Weiss portal and speak to a troll. Now luckily we already made these portals. It's kind of funny, when this quest came out there was a big scramble of people mining the salts. The salts were really expensive for a while because people were making these portals in their houses or making the one-click teletabs, but obviously we don't have to do that because we did that a long time ago purely for the sake of getting to the herb patch here. So now we actually have this here. They've added this new hole in the fence here, as you can see, which wasn't here when we did this quest. So if we just take our Weiss portal here, we can teleport in. You can see all these big time PVMers here just running through this same direction in order to fight the new boss that's downstairs. There's two new trolls here, Dead Wolf and Big Fish, but they are in fact Hazeal and General Khazard. So these guys are in disguise, as you can see. And then we'll head down into the mine to have a little bit of an examination what's going on down there. So here's the salt mine now. As you remember before, it used to be a lot more grey. There wasn't an icy cave in the bottom. And the layout of these stones has changed, as you can see. There are a lot less of them. Seems like there's still a place where you can mine 3 red salts in one space, but no, there's no regular basalt spot anymore. No green spot anymore. There's just a red and a blue now. I don't know why they messed with it. I mean, I don't think they've changed the physical size of the mining area, so I don't know why they even touched that at all if they just added this cave here to the bottom. They could have literally just slapped the cave on and not touched that, but now we're underneath the fortress in the wilderness, the Gorok Fortress. If you've ever been up to Ice Plateau, it's that little castle you can see on the hill up near where you do the sledding. We're actually in the basement underneath there where we need to come do some puzzles, and we also chase the killer of the Carnelians, and here he is. But as you can see, this guy is the guy from the Devious Minds quest who we helped out before, smuggle his bow sword onto Entrana. It's the same dude, so that's kind of cool, at least. It's kind of a callback to that random quest, and he's still wielding the very bow sword that we smithed for him back in the day. That's kind of interesting. There he goes, assassin down. So let's just go through the chat dialogue, and then we'll have to do a couple of puzzles, and then we'll be treated to the actual boss fight of this quest, which is the strange creature, aka the Phantom Musper. So supposedly the assassin wants access to the vault that was in here. Inside, supposedly, there's sealed away a great horror, but there's also an artifact inside that the guy was trying to steal. Use the very enigmatic code of blood on the lock. As you know, blood spells are a kind of ancient spell, so it only makes sense that the code is blood. The code here, according to Wiki, is 7402. I don't know why we know that, but we just know that. We will have to leave and resupply for this boss fight, because we will need some actual proper supplies. Confirm. Really like these little UIs on these puzzles. They're really well made. Surprisingly functional for an old school RuneScape interface. And then we're finally in the very bottom segment of the dungeon. And then what we can do is enter the crevice here, which will begin the final boss fight of the quest. We're going to be instantly teleporting out, though, because we do not have the supplies to fight this right now. We'll just leave, grab some proper pineapple pizzas, unnote some prayer pots, grab a range sip, and then we'll be able to fight the Phantom Musper here. I've been to the pyramid, changed our spellbook, I've been rune shopping to get some deaths and waters, obviously got our massive stack of bloods worth almost 6 mil already on us. We've got our range switch still, we've got diamond bolts on, and we've got sapphire bolts ready to swap into, and then I've been minnow fishing. I've got an invent of sharks, or what accounts for an invent of sharks minus the few that we burned, which I've replaced with potatoes. Then we've got a full range pot, and we've got ourselves 2 prayer pots as well. So I'm thinking this is about as prepared as we can be for this boss. Basically, you need to fight him with 2 different gear sets, ranged and mage, with switches, utilising freezers and protection prayers, and then towards the end using sapphire bolts and or smite. So let's just see how it goes, but wish me luck, and let's see what we can do. But I guess we'll just kind of focus on trying to keep him as frozen for as long as possible. I don't know how often he changes his styles, but what we will be doing is just trying to stay away from all this rubbish on the ground, and trying to pray accordingly. I think we'll hit a lot more with range than mage, because obviously our range is 99, and it tends to just do more damage than magic does anyway, single target. But yeah, anytime he changes phase, he spawns one of these spiky tentacles right below your feet that obviously you need to run away from. And if you just click across the room, then your character, chances are, will just run into the spikes without you wanting him to. What we really need to keep an eye on is this attack here, where he swaps to a magic attack. Because if you don't pray against that in the proper post-quest version of the boss, it can hit you like a 60. I don't know about during the quest. So now if this guy, he turns into like smoke for a bit, and you can actually still shoot him during this if you're quick enough. Use our blood spells on him, try and heal up at least a little bit before he swaps back to this phase. Now we swap to our sapphire bolts, and what we do is we basically alternate between protecting against his attacks and shooting him. Just need some hits, then he's dead. We're getting very close here. And there we go, the strange creature is defeated, and the Majorat Jahallan is released. Now we go through a conversation with him, we attempt to speak to him and learn what he's been doing up here in the north, but the assassin guy that disappeared earlier on teleports out of the Shadow Realm and actually takes Jahallan away, which isn't ideal, because then we can't find out the secrets of what's going on up here. He just gets yoinked by the assassin. Well, I guess this seal is now opened and we'll go inside and see what's going on in a future quest that is, as of recording this, currently unreleased, probably Desert Treasure 2 or something similar. So we'll speak to these guys, they'll offer us a teleport back to Ardi, which will actually send us straight to the Carnelian Mansion, where we can go talk to the guard where we initially started this quest, and actually turn it in and just complete the quest straight up, leaving us with only the Seren boss fight of Song of the Elves once again. So let's go turn this in, get our juicy XP rewards. So that's our investigation finished, we've done some Majorat messing about, we get ourselves 2 more quest points, we get access to the Gorok Dungeon up in Weiss, 60k in our agility, 50k in our thieving, and 40k in our hunter. So really, really nice. nice. But that does mean we can now go back and fight the Phantom Musper boss, which is that strange creature but a lot stronger, with a bunch of uniques, including this upgrade to our Ancient Staff, which is a 1 in 50. So I don't know whether we should go attempt one of those. I think the first one went relatively smoothly, but I think the post-quest version of the boss is quite a lot harder. So maybe I'll grab some sharks together and we'll go and give it a try, see how feasible the kill is, or see if we have to panic Telly out. Okay guys, here we are back in the Gorok dungeon with some kind of invent. Got a full invent of sharks, got some more prayer pots. Now we have access to the proper uninstanced version of this area. As you can see, 4 million of these muspers have been killed by players in the actual game. We can go inside and fight it again, which is actually the more tough version, which I may need to Telly away from, so let's just see how this goes. So as you can see, this guy's got 850 health. I can't remember how much health the boss one had. I think it was 550 during the quest, potentially. So let's make sure we have the right bolts on for this, not wasting our sapphires. Saving those for the smiting phase towards the end. It's preferential to use ruby bolts at the start, obviously, but didn't have the invent space or time to grab those, so just trying a kill to see how feasible this is on this account. Getting some rather nice range hits off here, which is always good. Always like to see a nice range hit. Because we don't have access to staminas, if we keep failing our freezes like this, then we need to do a lot of running around the room. Don't have quite as much DPS with mage as we do with range, even though we are primarily in maging armor. I mean, also we don't have the ability to use any kind of mage potion to increase our mage level. And our mage level is lacking compared to our range by quite a lot. Dude, I don't know what's happening right now. I can't freeze. And he's supposed to have gone to his next phase already. Okay, I moved there, sorry, but you saw it. I did move. I'm actually dead here. Like, no joke. I'm genuinely dead. Play it cool here, or we might not get the KC. I don't know if I can get out of this now. Oh, okay. It pushed me all the way out. That's interesting. Oh, that was dumb. That was dumb. Oh man. That's okay, it's not the worst place to get back to. I literally just need to get back to my house and I can walk through the Wise portal. I did get the KC, but I just forgot to flick back off mage at the very end there. It's weird timing after he does his mage attack, you have to be really quick. Yeah, that was the Musper, I guess. I mean, as you can see, it's technically possible on our account, but is it going to be worth trying to farm this upgrade for potentially over 50 kills? I don't know. There we go, that's our first Musper kill. Let's see if we get the 1KC Scepter. Sadly not. We've got a prayer pot, some ancient brews, some summer pies, some gold ore, and some ancient essence. A 7-minute 20 kill. We very nearly died twice. But it just shows that we can actually do it on this account. But yeah, we got some ancient brews. They just give you a prayer buff and a mage buff. Might be worth hanging on to one of these, honestly, for Seren. They don't really give you too much prayer. As you can see, a 4-dose will only give us 36 prayer, whereas a 4-dose prayer pot would give us like 96, so it's really not comparable, but there is a small mage buff, so maybe that would be useful. So yeah, I think we'll put a cork in the Phantom Musper there for a bit. Wouldn't mind doing 50 of those, honestly. It'd be a bit of a grind. It's certainly a lot of work to get the supplies together each kill. But I think what we'll do is we'll just go attempt Seren anyway without the Scepter upgrade and see if we can do it. Because if we can just get our quest cape out of the way, then that really frees us up in terms of the items we have to keep on us at all times for going back and doing PVM. So right guys, familiar surroundings, here we are in the Underground Pass, ready for our fight against Seren. But we've got a full BloodBark, which is an upgrade in theory from the last time we were here. We've got a God Book, which is an upgrade from the last time we were here. And we've got ourselves some decent food, as well as one ancient brew. We just got this as loot from the Musper, so I'm going to use this as well, because it obviously gives you a tiny bit of prayer back, as well as a +6 mage boost, which should give us a little bit more accuracy for the fight. It is, of course, the final boss fight of the final quest we have left. If we do this, we can go get our quest cape immediately and have access to Prifddinas, the city of the elves. So wish me luck guys, here it goes. Hopefully our blood spells actually heal us up somewhat during this. That's what I'm hoping for with this BloodBark. And that's kind of the whole point bringing it. It does heal you more with blood spells, but if we don't hit with them, then we're not going to heal, so I guess we'll just see. Yeah, I don't think this is happening. As you can see here, we're out of supplies, so we won't make it another full phase. I don't think we can do 300 in her next 3 special attacks. Oh man, it's such a long walk to get back there, dude. That sucks. Right guys, believe it or not, it's been very nearly an hour to come here, reclaim our stuff, leave, re-gear and get all our supplies again, and then come back. So let's give this another go. Wish me luck. Last one tonight for sure. Wait, what? What happened there? Genuinely, I don't think I died there. I'm gonna watch the clip back. I genuinely don't. Because I was above her max hit. I was on like 7+ health, so she couldn't have killed me there. I don't know what happened. Guys, I just watched that back. I genuinely died to a glitch. I'll just play the clip back here, but I like tick 8 her attack to 14 health perfectly, and it just killed me. She didn't do any damage. I had 14 HP, and it just kicked me out the boss fight and counted me as dead. But I didn't die, it was just a glitch. So I'm on 7 health, right? She does a 3 and a 2, a total of 5, which takes me down to 2 HP. So I attack again, and then while her projectile's in the air, I eat. She hits me a 2, but I'm left at 14 health. But the game kills me anyway, even though my health bar on the screen when I quote-unquote die is not 0, it's 14. So I genuinely just got scammed out of a death. And like an hour of re-gearing to do this again, so that's really annoying. Okay guys, back again. Wasn't going to bother doing another attempt tonight, but since we died so early, I still had quite a lot of supplies left when I came to reclaim my stuff, so it didn't take too long to resupply. So let's get into it straight away and let's go. So annoying, I just ran out of prayer. I think I could have had that if I had 3 prayer pots instead of 2, but it is what it is. Right guys, truly the last attempt of the night because it's getting late and I'm running out of prayer pots, so we're probably gonna have to go find some Ranor seeds somewhere or kill some Chaos Druids or something if we have to do further attempts. So yeah, everything seems to be in order. Here's all the stats, here's the gear, here's the inventory. Let's go for it. Dude, it's just luck, it's so stupid. Dude, like, half the time I come back to this boss, I get hit by the poison tripwire. So I have to wait, like, 3 minutes for the poison to time out, and then I have to waste some of my blood casts on, like, regular monsters on the way to Seren just to get my health back to full. At least there is an altar in this cave, so I can recharge prayer. So I can leave, like, rapid heal on to kind of counter it a bit, but it's really quite annoying. So yeah, I've just got to sit here now for 2 minutes till this poison wears off, and then heal on these wizards. Dude, come on. I've got to do it this phase. If we just hit, we're done. It's pink clone next. We need to keep taking it seriously, but we need like 3 big hits. That's so annoying. It just ate like a really big hit there. A 1. Okay, she's back up to 100, which really sucks. Okay, we have to do it this phase. Just hit and we're done. Just hit and we're done. Dude, how am I hitting 4s? Come on. Mate, I think we did it. I think that's quest cape on the account, guys. So that's the dark portion of Seren defeated. Lord Iorwerth's crushed, his plan was failed. We rejoin our friend Arianwyn. I guess all things are forgiven. And here we are in front of Prif. The Crystal Gates. There it is, guys. Song of the Elves completed on the UlM. That's every quest complete. The initial goal for this account is done. A monumental achievement, so much stuff unlocked. What a journey so far. That's insane. 40k and a whole bunch of skills. Farming level, dwarf weed. Insane. Right guys, and there it is, all the quests complete in the game. What was initially going to be the end of this series back when I started this off, just wanted to do kind of a weird, different, slightly more limited Ultimate Iron Man account and just try and achieve the Questscape. Well, now we've done every quest in the game, so the Questscape is within reach. We'll be grabbing that next episode. I guess you could consider anything after this to be sort of a Series 2. Didn't really expect to get this far back in like June last year or whenever I started this account. It's been kind of a wild ride, but here we are, finally done with all the quests, Seren defeated, even completed a couple of new quests that have come out since starting this account, which is kind of funny. Jagex kept moving the goalposts further and further away, but we've managed. That's all the boss has done, so that's really, really nice. This video pretty much covers all of January and a little bit of February. When I was kind of getting gear together for like fishing and stuff, I was saying how Secrets of the North's coming out in like 2 weeks, and I think it came out on January 11th, so some of these must have been around New Year's when these clips were recorded, but finally caught up with it and got this video out, so there you go. Whole bunch of skill ups from this one, obviously, because you get so much XP from Song of the Elves itself, but of course we did a whole bunch of training and we did Secrets of the North as well. So as you can see, we got ourselves 4 fishing levels, we got ourselves 12 cooking levels. We managed to scrape 1 thieving level thanks to the XP from Secrets of the North and our ham members that we did for our Unholy Book. Got a fire making level from Shades of Morton, where we also got our full BloodBark. We got our Angler's outfit and the Minnow platform unlocked, as well as a Temperos combat achievement with the Anglers. And of course we got those levels so we could cook and fish our own anglerfish and minnows for raw sharks from scratch. Speaking of easy clues and thieving, we of course got the Rocky pet as well, who's now living in our POH. He's going to be happily chilling out there for the rest of his days, so that's really, really nice to have. Got ourselves a little bit of a woodcutting and fletching level, just 1 of each in this episode, just in some downtime that I didn't bother to include because it's not that exciting, but we are obviously always trucking towards 80 fletching for the MSB, which is cool. Got 82 mage from doing a little bit of maging, and we actually got ourselves 5 runecraft levels just because of how much we made in terms of blood runes. Once again, didn't really cover that too much because it's not super interesting, but I think the blood rune stack currently on this character at the end of this video is worth about 6 mil GP if we sell them all to Ali. We made an absolute ton of blood runes. I did say in one bit that I was doing blood runes for a solid week at one point. There was like a Tears of Guthix clip before and a Tears of Guthix clip straight after, so there was like a solid week of making bloods. But yeah, we have got our runecraft past even 82 for double astrals, so maybe we can look into the Fremennik diary at some stage. That's really cool. And then of course a nice passive farming and hunter level just from doing birdhouse runs and planting the trees from those. So we actually got ourselves 31 total levels on the account in this episode. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in for however long you've been here, whether you've been here from the start when the videos were even worse, or if you've just tuned in recently on one of the more recent ones. I appreciate you guys watching, appreciate the nice comments, the likes, the subs, you know, all that good stuff. We will be back, like I say, immediately to go for the Lumbridge Elite Diary. We do still have mage gear equipped, so once we've done our Lumbridge Elite Diary, I'll probably go for a Zulrah kill straight after, try and get 1 done at least for that Western Hard Diary, because it's our last hard diary we'll have to do, and that one has a bunch of cool unlocks like the Crystal Halberd and Elite Void, so super useful PVM unlocks, that one. So that'll be kind of the immediate plan. So a few small things I want to do as well, like get our construction up to 80 now we have access to the Prif Sawmill, and then +5 stew and put a fairy ring directly in our house. That'll be super useful for us. And also get 80 agility now we have the Prif course, because it's a really good course, and 80 agility gives us the Taverley skip over to the Hellhounds and also the Fremennik course as well. So we'll do a little bit of skilling in and around Prif, get our smithing to at least 83, so we can stew up to 88 for the diary, maybe even closer to naturally getting 88, not really sure yet. And then after that we'll see what we're doing. Maybe we'll go back to Slayer even, because we do need 10 more levels or whatever it is for a Trident, because we will also definitely want to go back to Barrows at some stage and get some gear upgrades, and I'm kind of tired of using Ivan's Blast. But yeah, appreciate you guys tuning in thus far for the end of Season 1 of Bag Only. We will be back shortly with even more gaming. So yeah, if you guys have anything to say on the series so far, any feedback, comments or nice words, pop them below. I'll see you in a number of weeks whenever the next episode's out, so take care of yourselves. Goodbye.